Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the I.S.U.P.K like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the I.S.U.P.K. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God. That's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
If she has your DNA and it's in you, she's going to want to connect. And once she sees how magnificent and how powerful, and even this form that you did, this profound display of love, you know, in having this platform, I think it's going to blow her mind because, what you're doing here is not just selfish. You're using this situation to help other people find their way. And so even in that where, it's benefiting her, she'll be able to see this. This is part of her legacy. You're part of her legacy. But other people will be able to share in this and say, thank you, brother, because this podcast, this show saved my life.
This week, we're hosting a free trading and investing workshop right here in Atlanta. Inside this workshop, you'll learn that you don't need to be a Wall Street pro to trade like one.
What's the ODing on the beat, Narcan flow. Got my boots tied up on my feet in dark camo. Lifestyle not for Robin Leach, I'm more Mike Jones. They don't love me now, but they love when I'm on. I got demons in my face and they'll never leave me alone. I got brothers upstate, they just want to make it home. Tell them hold their head, tell them do it for the fam. While these faggot fuck boys out here doing for the gram. I just do it cause I can and I am who I is. One West warrior, my standard is big. I see shit differently, speak with efficiency. Shit, can't nobody get with me. Yeah, this how monsters ball. I mean, we could do it, get them Glocks involved. I mean, put you through it, let them shots ring off. I mean, get right to it, we ain't got that long. Still sipping plenty Henny straight with my dinner date. Pretty face and her pretty shape like a figure 8. I just wait, let her seal her fate, cause she feeling great. Not a race, but she finished first and I finished late. I don't really sleep, but I rest when I'm buried, yo. Bad Trini shorty cooking roti in the curry go. She just get up on and wind around like a merry-go. Got me on my terrio, ooh, kill it, there you go. I just really love it, she don't call me by my government. King Ty, oh, I'm King Kong when I'm up in it. Never on no sucker shit, I write with an oven mitt. I'm nice and you haters in my light, turn it up a bit. Yeah, this how monsters ball. I mean, we could do it, get them Glocks involved. I mean, put you through it, let them shots ring off. I mean, get right to it, we ain't got that long. The killers and the gangsters and hoods that be dangerous. Trigger finger getting kinda itchy, feeling anxious. Get a little bitty with the pistol by her ankles. Have her paint the walls with your blood like a Van Gogh. You rappers cold and I'm bout my dough and my cake. I'm with control and I pay the toll and roll out of state. I coming back, I'm sipping off a Patron to the face. The only thing I ask is for my dogs to be great. Throw the paper in the air, let it fall. Ticker tape of a parade. Day that all of my soldiers getting paid. The sword and the pistol I keep when I carry it. 144,000 soldiers in the chariot. Yeah, this how monsters ball. I mean, we could do it, get them Glocks involved. I mean, put you through it, let them shots ring off. I mean, get right to it, we ain't got that long. Yeah, this how monsters do it. I be riding around the streets, blasting monsters music. Run the West, hold me down, you is not gonna move it. Go around, come around, hope you not that stupid. All I'm seeing people catching death in these streets. Lost souls of the ghetto, that's what's left in these streets. Young and 15 catching wreck like a beast. Cause the strong keep it going, only rest for the weak. I don't really sleep, I keep one eye open. Stomping on these rappers on my feet, 5-4 shit. Any money bullshit, but I picked the 4-5. Hit them with the stick, have it lift them like a forklift. Yeah, this how monsters ball. I mean, we can do it, get them Glocks involved. I mean, put you through it, let them shots ring off. I mean, get right to it, we ain't got that long. Used to move the line up and quarterbacking like Donovan. Now I'm sipping Jonathan Walker, don't try to challenge him. You might get your lips all swole without collagen. Bro, you better slow your fucking roll, have some common sense. Point game match, settle scores if you wanted to. Big dog wrecking shit, I'm more like a Marmaduke. I'm more what you never saw before, I'm a monster. Roll up on you, then just get the shotgun like I'm Blanca. This ain't street fighting, this about that gunplay. They be on the block back and forth, but it's one way. Battling for yards like it's Super Bowl Sunday. Trying to bring the chip home, better get that big chrome.
All right, this is Rooted Speech, man. We got Captain Tywar in the building.
Yeah. Who's that?
Yeah, so Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man, on Rooted Speech, man. Understand, I break it down right quick, though.
Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big shine, big glow. I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got $1 million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. Fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak would have been shot you. The best rhymer since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not inside of my conglomerate. Wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring karma. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect, pay homage. I'm one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I said I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now one West ball put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designing charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain a $1.50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though. Cause them niggas getting fouled, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino. And the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in the peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's U.P.K, not a part, but together I've been one West bred, One West Betty, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. One West bread, one West Betty, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. Boy, when they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, what the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and know boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to one with step. I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent. I got it. Let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no losses. Ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Got your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets. That baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. But your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, right. But that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
Salakia?
I think your mic working now. I just gotta get the sound back.
Check, check.
Yeah, you good with the sound.
Excellent. So is this mic right here in front of me? Let me bring it a little bit closer. Okay. Testing, testing. Excellent. Salakia, Akim and Akwathium, we had a few technical difficulties. We are back, and I want you to know that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
With that being said, I'm going to reintroduce the class. Tonight is the biblical law class. And within this class, Salakia, it is not the biblical law class. It is the biblical history class. It is Monday. I'm so used to teaching on Wednesday so Salakia, forgive me for that. Monday being the biblical law history class, Tuesday being our biblical brotherhood class, Wednesday, which is our biblical law class, Thursday, General Hyman teaches the scripture breakdown. On Friday, we have the Lashon Kodash, which is our language in the ancient Hebrew. And then on Saturday, we have our Sabbath. With that being said, tonight's topic is part 2 of me exposing the white cave bee for who she is, letting you know that she is the white man's best kept secret. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the white female PDF file. The white female PDF file. Since we have to use all these abbreviations like SA'd and unalived, I'm going to adhere to the social media standards and use these words so that we don't get flagged. Because the reason why they do that is they want to take power off of the word. They don't want me to say that these white women are doing these specific things to these children. So they have to put a muzzle on the words that we use so that they aren't exposed for the things that they do. When a person's life is taken, they want you to say unalived. When a person has been abused in a way that is sexually immoral, we have to use the word SA'd. That right there is so that you can soften the blow of what their people are doing. So what's going on with that is they want to be able to censor in a slick way. They all want to push the whole narrative of we have freedom of speech, but actually, do we really have freedom of speech? And it looks like somebody's on the line. Is there someone up there? Shalom. Yeah, how about Shimmy al-Shai? What's going on, mighty man?
Shalom, what's going on, Adawan? Everything to up, sir.
Most High in Christ, is good to see you in class. It's good to see you, brother.
Okay.
So, as I was saying, tonight's class, if you didn't hear, is going to be on the white man's best kept secret, the white female pedophile. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the history of what she's done and what she's gotten away with. It's very heavy because what I had to do was I had to do a lot of searching to gather this information because the oppressor has made sure that now when it's doing that, is it flashing to where the people who are watching are seeing the same as well? Oh, so I'm only seeing it do that. Okay, Most High in Christ. Salakia, Akim, and Akwathium. So what happens is the oppressor has hidden the things that the oppressor woman has done. Now, let me ask you this. Are they able to still see? So they can see me still. Okay, Most High in Christ. Excellent. Salakia, Akim. So what the oppressor has done is he has hidden the records. He has hidden the things that the white woman has done. How do we know that he does this? Well, he's hidden our records. He hid our truth from us. Now, when I say hid it from us, meaning it's right there in the scriptures, but by him being deceitful, by him using deception, that is in the sense of him hiding from us who we are. So when we look at that end of it, when he has been hiding from us who we are, we can also know that he is hid from us who he is. So when I talk about the white woman, he is obviously hidden how she moves, the things that she says, the things that she does, and he hides her behind the shadow of being docile and innocent because she can do no wrong. That's what we have been taught to believe when it comes to the white women. We've been taught to believe and have experienced what happens when a white woman cries. Her tears are extremely powerful to the detriment of the black man. If a white woman cries, 9 times out of 10, we're going to lose our life. We'll be unalived or we'll be put in jail. If you go and look throughout history, you'll see where there have been numerous amounts of black men who have either lost their lives or have been put behind bars because of the lies that white women have told. Well, tonight I'm going to continue to expose in this series of the white man's best kept secret. I'm going to continue to expose just how foul, sadistic, and vile the white woman is at her core, at her nature. I don't want us to ever get away from the fact that when we are speaking about how foul Esau is, we tend to think of just a man. And because we have that one-track mind of thinking it's just a man, we don't then recognize and know that the woman has also played a significant role in everything that has been done to us. The man isn't just oppressing us. The woman is also oppressing us. She plays an excellent role in why we are thrown behind bars. But tonight, what I want you to understand is that the white woman has an insatiable lust for little boys, an insatiable lust for little girls. And I'm going to prove that to you tonight with some of the articles that I bring out. Now, you'll be able to Google the information because there's nothing that we bring out that is not factual. Now, it did take a lot of research and a lot of proper wording to get the information that was needed, because just like as I taught in my class a few weeks ago with the characteristics and the profile of a white female serial killer, I had to be just as persistent in my search and study for this information, because they said that there was a lot of information that had not been given to us. The reason why that is because they don't want to tarnish the reputation of the white woman. And I'm going to say it for the sake of the class, they don't want to tarnish the reputation of the white cave bitch.
Right.
So to you black men out there who are laying with these white devils, I want you to know today that you are in gross error, that you are in sin by doing that. Why would you want to give yourself? Why would you want to share yourself with the white woman?
Right.
Now, I can speak on these things because I used to lay down with dogs. I truly used to lay down with white women. But now I know the truth. Now I know that was something that I was never supposed to do. Now, as I continue to go through this class, you're going to find out just how vile and disgusting the white woman is. And then I want you to question yourself and ask yourself, does she still look good to you? Is she still not the one who she's not going to argue? She's not going to be argumentative. She's going to be nice and kind and take care of me. I want you to understand that the white woman isn't real. Now, I want you to listen closely when I say that the white woman isn't real. She's real in your eyes because you're still asleep. She's real in your eyes because the veil has not been removed. So she continues to be real to you. When you see a white woman, you're like, ooh, look at her. Look at her hair. Look at her, whatever it is that is attracting you to the white woman. Because you're still sleeping, because you're still in your slumber and walking through this life aimlessly, the vision that you see before you, you don't understand that it's not even real. You don't understand that you are part of a system that has been designed to keep you in the place that you're in, designed to keep you in a prison, not only physically, but also mentally.
Right.
There's nothing special about the white woman. When we look at a white woman, we think, oh, she's not going to argue and fight with us. But then we get upset because we say that the black woman is too mean. The black woman is this, the black woman is that. Can I say that the black woman can be difficult? Absolutely, but so can the black man. But imagine the black woman in the truth. Imagine a righteous black woman. Imagine a righteous black man. Imagine what that would be like when we come together as one. Now I want you to think about coming together as one with the white woman. That can't even sound right to you. That can't even seem right to you. You know that we aren't the same. You know that they're a different manner of people. You know they are. Just like the white man leads the race when it comes to serial killers, so does the white woman. Just like the white man leads the race when it comes to being essayed by them, so does the white woman. When you do your research, you'll find that the white woman, as a teacher, whether it be a substitute or whether it be a college teacher or what have you, grade school is mostly what they're in. And normally the age ranges are anywhere from like 12 to 14, 12 to 15 years old. They have relationships with them, full-blown relationships. And as we go through this class tonight, you're going to see just how much of a pervert that the white woman is. Before we get started, give me, if you would, Baba Kasha, give me, I'm going to read it, the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. I got it. The book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. I want you to hone in on that beginning. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. There's nobody more profane, nobody more of a fornicator than Esau. That's in his nature. That's in his nature. That's in her nature. But what she does is she's much more sinister in her approach, even in those that become her victims. As I read and go through this class, you'll see it. Now, the history of the women who commit sexual abuse in the United States is a complex, understudied, and often misunderstood topic. Now, I'm reading you the information that I've compiled to share with you the proof and the statistics of who she is. For decades, research, legal action, and public awareness focused almost exclusively on male offenders, which means female sexual abuse has often been hidden. Female sexual abuse has often been hidden, minimized, or mislabeled. Tonight, I'm going to show you how the oppressor has covered up his female counterpart's vileness and how the understanding and treatment of women's sexual abusers has developed over time. So when I say the treatment, meaning it's being more exposed, they're now categorizing it as abuse. As I continue to read, you're going to see where it wasn't always categorized as that. It had another name attached to it because they've tried to protect this woman. I want you to understand she is no different, and she may be even worse than the oppressor man. I'll continue reading. Now, we know that Esau is the progenitor of the white race. So as I was saying earlier, that once you hear me say Esau, I'm not just talking about the man, I'm talking about the woman. Now I'm going to go into the history. Some of the history that you're going to hear, I'm going to start as far back as the 1800s and come all the way up to now to let you know that they have been doing this. They have been molesting children. They've been a part of these sex rings. But when you see the white woman, that's not what comes to mind. We will learn tonight that we have to start to profile the white man. We have to start to profile the white woman. We have to. If you want to protect your children, you better start profiling these people. Right. Just like when they look at a black man and say, you know, I'm going to clutch my purse. Well, when you look at the white woman, you know what you say to yourself? I don't know if I want my child to be in that class. I need to make sure that I get the facts on this woman. I need to check her name in the database to make sure that she isn't on the sexual offender list. Right. There is a sexual offender list that you can look up for the state of Georgia. There is a link that you can look up. And I want you to make sure that you're understanding that I want us to be safe and protect our kids. I'm going to make sure that I leave that information for you so that when you want to look it up to find the people who are abusers in your neighborhood or in any area to see if they're on the sexual abuse list. Now, you may not find that with all of the oppressor women, but I can promise you that they're out there, and you'll know that after I continue to read in the class tonight. Now, starting here, we're going to go back to the history of the early 1800s to mid 1900s. And that was called silence and misclassification. That was the period, silence and misclassification, when it came to this topic that we're discussing tonight. It says here, women who sexually abuse minors or vulnerable people were rarely recognized as offenders. Think about that. Women who sexually abuse or SA'd minors or vulnerable people were rarely recognized as offenders. That right there is letting you know that it's all about the oppressor woman. Because if it were a black woman, she would be called a rapist. She would be called a sexual offender. Those things would be put on her. This also lets you know that there's not really any of us doing that. Now, I'm sure that we are guilty of it and it's been done. But for them to not have any data compiled in a sense to where you can freely find it, and I didn't have to do all this research, that lets you know that they're trying to conceal something.
Right.
It says here, abuse by women was typically categorized as moral failures or improper relationships rather than crimes. Now that's heavy. It says here, moral failures. Imagine that. A moral failure or an improper relationship. So you can be a 43-year-old woman and have a relationship with a 15-year-old boy. I'm about to get you to play a video. Have a relationship with a 15-year-old boy, and they would call that a moral failure or an improper relationship. Now, if you're a man, that's not a moral failure or an improper relationship. You're going to be called a PDF file.
Right.
What I want you to do is watch the video here. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep on going. We're going to go ahead. Keep going. No, go back up. Go back up. We're going to go to that one right there. Watch this video. We're going to share some video clips to let you see the proof for yourself, just how foul and nasty the white female pedophile is, or PDF file, Salakia. Let me know when you have it.
This mother in her 40s allegedly got pregnant by her teen daughter's 14-year-old boyfriend. I frequently get asked if there are any updates in this case, and I don't necessarily have an update, but I do have some more information. Her name's Robin Polston. She's from Washington, Illinois, and this is the boy. She had a maternity shoot done with him. So I'll start by giving you the backstory. Robin works as a cosmetologist, and around the time she got pregnant, she began telling her clients that she had been dating some guy in the military from St. Louis, and he was often gone. And at the time, nobody really thought anything about it. She had 2 teenagers already, but she always wanted a third, and everybody was really happy for her. But people noticed this boy kept hanging around her, and she told them that it was apparently her military boyfriend's younger brother, and that he's 25, but he just has a baby face. This is a picture of that boy when he was dating her daughter. And here's another one of them from an 8th grade dance party. And check this out. The boy was even living with her for quite a long time. He was having some problems at home and ended up moving in with his grandparents. But then he was having problems there as well because he wanted to be with her. And she actually convinced his grandparents to let him move in.
No, stop right there.
She played it off like he's really good friends with her teenage son, which isn't true. And that she's happy to.
Now, what you just heard her say was that she convinced the boy's grandparents to let him move in because he was having problems with his own parents. Why would he not then move in with his grandparents? She convinced the grandparents to allow a child to move into her home. Mind you, she was the mother of the daughter who's dating this boy. So she went through all this work to get the son to move into the house with them. Convinced the grandparents to say, you can move in. Shalom, how about you, mighty man? What's going on, the Kwam Yala? Most High in Christ. Absolutely. No, I'm Tawab, the water. Okay. Salaki Akim and Aquafium. So we're going to get back to that video here in a moment. Well, what I want you to do is understand that this woman was taking the time to try to prepare and prep not only the son to move, this boy to move in with them, but also to talk to the grandparents to get him to move into the house. Go ahead and press play.
Take him in, she'll look after him and help everybody out. But obviously, that wasn't the reason she wanted him to live with her. After she posted photos from the maternity shoot, people were like, hold up, that boy looks familiar. So some people who know her actually got into the middle school yearbook and found out exactly who he is. The same boy that had previously gone out with her daughter. Not some 25-year-old man with a baby face, which is what she told the photographer.
Now stop right
There's a picture of them together at the baby shower. And she even had the boy present when she...
Here's what I want you to understand. You may as well wait right there, bro. Here's what I want you to understand. He did a paternity shoot, a photo shoot with a 14-year-old boy. He's been telling people that he's 25 years old, but he just has a baby face. She was at a paternity shoot, a photo shoot for the baby that she now has. This baby belongs to the 14-year-old in her. Continue playing.
He gave birth. Again, 14 years old. After this all came to light, the Washington police collected DNA from Robin, the infant, and the victim. But because they had to send it to the Illinois crime lab, the result isn't back yet. At this point, it's been over 6 months and she's still out free. Now, here's some of the new information. I received a message from somebody a few days ago stating that she had the baby baptized and apparently the teenage victim was there for it. I obviously don't know if he was there or not, but she did have the baby baptized. This is the church bulletin. Now, you'll notice the baby's last name is Duncan, which is the boy's last name. She literally gave this baby the last name of that 14-year-old boy. Well, he's
stop right there.
Now.
What I want you to understand with that is how heavy that is that her boldness to then even give the baby that she's had with this 14-year-old the last name of this boy. She's been lying about his age, been lying to people about who he is. But here's what's crazy. That right there is the boyfriend of her daughter. So what type of trauma has she placed on her daughter? What type of issue has she now given her daughter? Her daughter knows who the boy is, but it's been a well-kept lie. Right. This woman is an assassin. This woman right here is a creep. This woman is disgusting. Right. Because what she's doing is out in the open. She isn't even trying to hide it. She's out in the open being with this boy and lying to you about how old he is. Continue playing.
Here are her two teenagers with the baby. And check this out. She posted this into a breastfeeding baby-led weaning group. It says, is it normal for my little guy to be having just one meal a day at dinner and one snack either late morning or early afternoon? You know what? Let me just skip down to this bottom part. He has always been small, but he's chubby and gaining weight properly. He's in the 2nd to 3rd percentile in height and weight, so very proportionate. All my kids were this size. He's my 3rd. I'm only 5'2", 125 pounds at the moment, and Dad is 5'7", 140 pounds. So all small people here. And look, this person commented, his dad is only 5'7", 140 pounds because his body hasn't fully developed yet. Everyone, this baby's dad was 14 years old when this 40-year-old woman conceived his child. No one has forgotten and no one will. The audacity. So that's all I have for now. Hopefully there's an arrest made soon. And if there is, you know, I will immediately make an update video. This mother in her 40s allegedly got pregnant.
Now, this right here is letting you know that the white woman doesn't give a damn about what you think. Right. She's going to do what she wants to do. She's putting it right there in your face, showing you who she is. So you have to ask yourself, where was Charlie Kirk when these statistics needed to be brought out? Since you want to talk about how violent the black man is and how much the black woman didn't have the brain capacity to be in high positions at her job or in her field, where were you at when it came to having the percentages of how disgusting the white woman is? Right. Your counterpart, your female counterpart, where were you at during all of that? Now, I'm going to continue to read, but what I want you to do is understand that America has hidden from you who the white woman is. I want you to stop looking at this woman like she's the prize, because she is not. That woman is jail time. That woman is death. That's what she is. That woman right there is going to pull you away from who you are. That woman right there, if you have a child with her, is going to have your children confused until they come into the I.S.U.P.K, and then we teach them. They won't know who they are. They won't understand who they are. Why? Because it's two different cultures. The scripture says that there are two, when you're speaking to Rachel, there are two manners of people in you, two different nations. Two different nations, one of them being Jacob and the other one being Esau. Jacob is the one who's the promise. That is Israel. So why would you then say, now I'm going to be with a white woman and put your seed in this woman? That's two manner of people. The white woman having the black child. Why do we want to do that to our people? Stop. You have a plethora to choose from, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. That's what your choices are. You do not want to lay with one of these women and have her actually sexually molesting your own child, because that's what she'll do. And I'll prove to you that she'll molest her own family. There's another video I want you to pull up, Makwalat, where I'm going to show you how the black woman, I mean, Salakia, the white woman will molest her own family. I hope I have that video up there. Go ahead. Scroll up again. It doesn't look like I have that video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to still send the video, but I have a woman who has molested her own family members, and she did it for decades. For decades, she did that. And what I'm going to do is make sure that you get the proof of that. Just one moment here. I'm going to show you something, but within that, I'm going to give you the history still. So, starting with the 1800s to the mid-1900s, as I said, that's the silent misclassification. Women who sexually abuse minors or vulnerable people were rarely recognized as child offenders. Now, we can see what's going on here. It says abuse by women was typically categorized as moral failures or improper relationships rather than crimes. Number three, historical records. Court cases and newspapers show instances of women charged with corruption of a minor, but they were framed as social problems rather than sexual crimes. So it's showing you that the historical records show that they were framed as corruption of a minor, not sexual abuse, but corruption of a minor. But these were framed as social problems rather than sexual crimes. Cultural ideas of women as naturally nurturing, harmless, or sexually passive made it difficult for victims, especially boys, to be believed. Now, when it says here, cultural ideas of women as naturally nurturing and harmless or sexually passive made it difficult for victims, understand that when they're talking about this, they're not talking about the black woman. Because if it were a black woman, they would definitely tell you that she was a sexual savage, a deviant. That's what they would say. But actually, the deviants are the white women.
Right.
That's what that is. But they're using this verbiage right here because they're not using the word or the race of the women. So they want to leave it open for you to believe that it's just talking about women. No, this is not the case. I'll continue to read. It says here, abuse or typical patterns in this era is abuse occurring in domestic situations, step parents, babysitters, caregivers. Now, if you remember from my class a few weeks ago, when I was talking about the female serial killer, the profile of the female serial killer is oftentimes one that is in the caregiving work field. So oftentimes she's a nurse, she's a doctor, she's someone who, or she's a babysitter. She's someone who has access to people who are vulnerable or who can't defend themselves. Right. That's what they say with a female serial killer. Now, what you're going to find out with the female PDF file is that she also has a profile. Her profile is the same as the serial killer or the serial unaliver. I've been saying it all this point, but the serial unaliver. If you want to understand who she is, you have to understand now she has the same thought process as the female serial killer, the white female serial killer, but now she's also a teacher. Because almost all these cases, the women are in the field of education. So they're teaching, they're around your children. They have access to them 7-8 hours of the day to groom them, to nurture them, to teach them how to lie, to see who she can make her victim, to see who she can prey on, to say, you know what, this is the one that I like. Imagine that. Imagine you're a woman, a white woman, and you're looking at little boys trying to figure out which one that you want to seduce. You want to tell me that there's nothing wrong with her? That's a mental illness that she has. The mental illness is that she's a white woman. The mental illness is that she's Esau. So it's not a matter of if she'll do it, but when she'll do it. So it says here, the courts often punish women less severely than men for comparable offenses. This is letting you know that it's always been hidden. So I'll go to number 2. Mid 20th century, 1950s to 1980s. It's hidden in plain sight. Michael, I want you to go to another video.
So you see the one to me?
No, I hadn't sent it to you yet.
Okay, go.
Stop right here. Yes. I'm going to share with you throughout this class some different clips that have been compiled to show you that this is something that has been happening and is ongoing.
This one involves a teacher sexting a young boy. A Pennsylvania middle school teacher reportedly faces up to 7 years in prison for allegedly sending nudes to a 14-year-old student. She would also allegedly joke about the student's age in sexually suggestive social media messages. So this is 30-year-old Ashley Mongol, and she allegedly demanded that the young boy make sure that their messages back and forth to each other were disappearing. At one point, she said no texting for 9 years, but she continued doing it, meaning when the boy's old enough. According to reports, Pennsylvania State Police Computer Crimes Unit started investigating last Thursday. This was after they received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about communications that were associated between an account associated with Ashley here and the young boy. The student was interviewed by police, and he allegedly told authorities that he and Jessica had exchanged nudes over Snapchat. Of course it's Snapchat. It's always Snapchat. The teen admitted this after the Attorney General issued a subpoena, and police also obtained information about the young teen. Now, reportedly, Jessica here told police that the young boy had been in her 8th grade class last school year. This was at Connellsville Middle School. She also allegedly admitted to sending the teen a fully nude picture of her, and investigators ended up finding that picture in the teen's phone. Unbelievable. The two had reportedly exchanged messages on Instagram, Snapchat, and via their cell phone numbers. Jessica was eventually, well, guys, what do you know? Another day, another dirty teacher. This one involves a teacher sexting a young boy. A Pennsylvania.
So what I want you to see here is that with this situation, she's a teacher and her victim is another 14-year-old boy. And what she's been doing is texting him. But she told him, now, no texting for the next 9 years. Now, that was, of course, her being manipulative because she continued to text, continued to sexting with him, is that's what they're calling it. Sending nude pictures. And he was also sending nude pictures. Here's what I want you to understand. That right there is against the law. That right there is child porn. That's child pornography that she was in possession of. This was a child, not an adult. So you'd have to ask yourself, what would be the holdup? What would be the delay in arresting her and putting her under the jail? Because that right there that's child pornography. Once you have this picture and you've sent it to someone, meaning this boy sent a picture of himself to her and she had it in her possession. If the police were to come and open her phone and see that she has a 14-year-old boy that's naked in the picture, that right there is possession of child pornography. Now, these are the things that you don't hear about on the news. I can ask the brothers in the class right now, and those of you who are watching the class, when was the last time have you ever heard of a woman being arrested for having child pornography? When have you ever heard that? Never heard of it. The only reason why I've heard of it is because I've been studying and watching this and collecting this data for some time now. But you never see it on the news. But if some of you are as old as I am, you may remember the story with Kate Letourneau, where she had a relationship with a young man or boy, and it was publicized. Mary Kate Letourneau. It was publicized all over the news. This was some years ago. She went to prison for that. After she got out of prison, what did she do? Found this boy again. He was of age and then married him. This is a grown woman messing around with yet another 14 or 15-year-old. What I want you to understand is that these things happen. The oppressor has tried to hide it from you, just like he wants to inflate the statistics of who we are as black men when it comes to crime and say that we're committing all these crimes. But what he's not telling you is that us being charged more is the reason why you're getting that data. We're being charged for crimes that we haven't committed more than anyone else. So if you're going to inflate the crimes on black men, then we also have to look at how there's no data on the crimes for white women. Almost non-existent, except for until the last 30 years. So you're looking at going back to the late 1990s, going into the early 2000s. We're only in 2025, and the data is only about 30 years old. And even in that, you have so many unreported cases of what has happened to let you ask yourself, if there hasn't been much information put out there, how many more of them have been doing this? How long has it been going on? Go ahead.
It's like I said, they report with the stats there, because I was going to say, when you bring it out, it's super heavy. It just shows like this been going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just social media is exposing it. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely seems like something that's been going on, sir. You know what I mean? Like it didn't just start. You know? Right.
Absolutely. Baba Kashah, could you bring some paper towel? Come on. Absolutely. This is definitely something that has been going on. Okay. But what they want to do is keep that lily white image of Susie Homemaker when actually she's a Susie Homewrecker. She's been destroying these other little boys and making them sexual deviants along with her. Now, here's the thing. I'm not even going to say that she's really making them sexual deviants, because if we go back to the beginning of class, the scripture that I read, I'm going to bring it out again just so we understand. In the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, it says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. So it wouldn't be a far stretch to say that although the white woman has been molesting, a lot of her victims have been white boys. And oftentimes when that happens, they turn out to do that themselves. Really, that's what they're going to do anyway.
Right.
They're going to be molesters anyway. All you're doing is showing them how to do it. That's all the white woman's been doing. She's been showing these white boys how to do it. Because you have to ask yourself, why is it that a white woman would even be attracted to a little boy? Now, I'm about to go into something for you. One of the mighty precinct officers, officer of 5,000, Kazak Ahmad, put out a clip. I wish I would have had that clip to show you how the white woman pines after us because of our sexual prowess, and then how white men can't stand us because of their lack of. So when we're looking at that, it's been something that's been talked about throughout history, that the white man has a micro rod, that they're working with nothing. So obviously that makes sense. It makes sense because the white woman, she wants the black man. She wants the black man. She wants his rod. She knows that there's power in that rod. She knows what the black man can do with that rod. She knows. But when you look at the white woman and she's with these little boys, she's used to getting with little boys because guess what? Being with a little boy, a 14-year-old, is no different than being with a grown man if you're a white boy.
Right.
So for them, it's all the same until they experience the tribe of Judah.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's like, sir, on top of it, just a sidebar, if I could, to say, that's the reason why the Epstein files haven't even been fully disclosed, because it's so normal in the white man society to be the spirit of pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to bring it up because you're gonna realize it's more than just Trump and Epstein. It's all white people are like that. So it's like
all of them. That's right. It's all y'all. Every one of them. So of course it's not the big deal. It's not something that's far-fetched because that's what they do. But the white woman, she's been tired of dealing with the white man who can't get it up. The white man who doesn't have the fire, who doesn't have the strength that we have as the 12 tribes of Israel. So obviously she's going to be attracted and want us. But guess what? We don't want you.
Damn, it's like it, sir.
Go ahead.
If I could, it's like not to go too graphic, but what you're saying so heavy, like, you know, the white man does have a manhood problem. And you know, like you said, the white woman, you know, she calls him out for that. You know what I'm saying? So she tired of it, so she go deal with kids, you know, younger men, and the white man also deal with younger, down to the babies, because you know his manhood problem. It's like, right?
Absolutely. So we are going to get graphic with it because what you're saying is heavy and it's the truth. When you're looking at the oppressor man, he's not working with anything. So then he wants to go and get with something that's compatible for him. So what does he do? He gets with a baby. He gets with a 6, 7, 8, 19-year-old girl.
Right.
Something that he can work with because of what he's working with. That is absolutely disgusting.
Right.
But guess what? What other thought process could you have that all these white men are attracted to little? Look at Donald Trump, known for being with 10, 11, 12. You know, there's rumors that he's been with 12 and 13-year-olds.
Right.
How can you be attracted to a little girl? How can you be attracted to a little boy? Not only are you sadistic and foul and disgusting within your own thought process, but the thing about it is you know that you can't please a grown woman. Think about that. The white man can't please a grown woman, and the white woman, she thinks that she can please the black man. But it's only because the black man doesn't know who he is. Because once you learn who you are, you would never give yourself up to a dog. You would never say, you know what? Yeah, she looks good. She's this, that, and the other. You would never do that. I went my entire life or of age where I knew what I was doing, dealing with oppressor women. Yahweh, why Yahweh shy that I'm no longer doing that. This rod is royal. This rod is reserved for the 12 tribes of Israel, for those sisters and those sisters only. That's how every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man needs to think. We don't want to have anything to do with them. But not to veer too much off of the topic, we are all adults here in this class. I want us to understand that the white woman has been tricking you. She's been making you believe that she is sexually submissive, that you can do whatever you want to do to her. I want you to think about something for a second. Why would you want a woman that you could do anything to? Think about that. You might think to yourself, oh man, that's great. I can do whatever I want to do to her. But why do you want that? Why do you want a woman who, if you want to piss on her face, you can? If you want to spit on her butt, you can. Wouldn't you want a woman to say, hold up, you know, we ain't doing all that? Now, they say that the marriage bed is not defiled, and it's not. But there's a limit to where you go, because just because it's not a sin doesn't mean that it's always expedient. Doesn't mean that you can just do whatever.
Right.
So what I want you to understand is that the white woman will tell you, yeah, you can do it here, you can do it there, you can stick it here, you can stick it there. Well, you know what? Hold on a second. Have you been abused? Has something happened to you, white women, that you're telling me that I can do whatever I want to do to you? If you want to put it in my ear, go ahead. If you want to put it in my nose hole, go ahead. Absolutely not. Go ahead, brother.
It's not the same if I could. Be satisfied with a video.
Go ahead.
Just throw out that word if I could. Just on top of what you were just saying, sir. Man, it's horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let me see. Man, I can't even get it to pop up like the other one. I work on the server now. I just come back.
Most High in Christ. So we're going to bring that video back here shortly if we can. But until then, what I want us to continue to think about and understand is that the white woman has a disease, just like the white man does. A part of that, or a portion of that, what that disease is that they want to do whatever it is that they want, and they want to have whatever they want because they're led by pleasure. And it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's a child, if it's a baby, because you would have to think that way. Look at their victims. How is it that you could have someone like Jeffrey Epstein, who has been doing or who did what he did for all these years, dealing with underage girls, underage boys, and he wasn't flying under the radar? They knew what he was doing. They knew what was going on Epstein Island. Yet they continued to do it with impunity, as if nothing was going on. But here's what you have to understand. There weren't just men on that island. You see, there weren't just men on that island. There were women on that island.
Right.
And the women who were also, you know, oftentimes they'll use women to bring forth that softness, to deceive you. So here's what happened. I, just to give you a little bit of history on myself, I was involved with an organization that went and rescued people who were involved in human trafficking. What we would do is we would rescue children and we would rescue women. We would physically have to go and rescue them. What we would have to do before doing this, though, is we'd have to have a woman handler with us. And when you have a woman handler with you, the reason why you would do that is because when you go to the house or wherever it was that they were being held, you would go there and a woman would need to be with you. Are you ready to play it?
Whenever you're ready, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let you play it now. Go ahead. Michael Lott's got a video he wants to bring out. We're gonna show you just how foul the white man is when it comes to children. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Go out there, sir. Go out. Man, this is horrible, sir. Like,
now, look at this. Give not our daughters over to their sons. Give not our sons over to their daughters. What black family put that black child in the hands of that white devil so that he could put his disgusting pink monkey lips all over her?
oh, God.
Who and why would someone do that? What do you want to bring out, brother?
Oh, Salaki, sir. I don't know if you noticed, but when he tried to do that, she turned her damn head away from him.
And she did.
Right. Right.
She did. She turned her head away.
Come on.
It's like, sir.
Go ahead.
Throughout the other world, and what I wanted to bring out too, like it's the point that you made about like it's all of them, because as you notice, he kissing that, trying to kiss that little girl, the crowd is cheering it on.
Right. Think about that. All of them. That's why I posted a couple of days ago saying that all of them are the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right, right.
Don't ever forget that. Every single one of them are the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
I want you to understand that they don't have the ability in them to love. They don't. One day when you open your eyes, one day when the veil is lifted, you're going to see exactly who they are. You see, the things that are being revealed to you in this class and in many classes and what the I.S.U.P.K has been teaching since 1969 is that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. But here's what you have to understand. The scripture says that the son of perdition will be revealed. He's been being revealed. Now that we have social media, he's being revealed in even a bigger way. But when I say he, don't forget that I'm also talking about she. I don't want you to think that the white man is the only one that is guilty of the crimes of sexual abuse and murder. Also, the woman that he has is also guilty of those same crimes. Right. Oftentimes, the woman will have a partner. As I continue to read the statistics in the profile, you'll see that the woman has a partner, and the partner is normally another white male. Right. So what they do is they get together and they sexually abuse children together. Now, I don't have this article, but I want you to do the research for yourself. There was a lady who was just convicted here not recently for taking cupcakes to the school where she was a teacher at. She gave them to all the children. What she did was she had her husband ejaculate on all the cupcakes and then took them to the school and fed them to the children. This was a white man and a white woman. I think she got 40 years, which, if you want to know my honest thought about it, that's worthy of death. Right. But what is the thought process that you would be with your husband and think to yourself, I want you to ejaculate on these cupcakes in the frosting, and then I'm going to give it to the children? Not only is that disgusting, but what I want you to understand is, how would that even come out? How would that even be found out? Because Esau is arrogant. Esau has to talk about what they do. Esau has to say that, make things funny. Right. So they have to put things out there. So no part of them actually thought to themselves, hey, I'm going to get in trouble for this. So they did it anyway. Michael, like, you're about to pull that clip up. Oh, no, sorry, I got the this right here. That's it. Yeah, come. So you made it a little bit bigger so I can read it. Okay. So what you're looking at right here is a Louisiana teacher, Cynthia Perkins, sentenced after lacing students' cupcakes with now ex-husband sperm. Of course, now it's the ex-husband. It's the ex-husband now. Don't nobody care. You don't have to put ex-husband. Like, think about that. I want you to get the psychology behind that. They put in their ex-husband. Who gives a shit that it's the ex-husband? They're telling like, oh, they want you to think she left him. She left him. She's no longer with him to make you think it was him who did it. No. These were your students. You went to him and said, hey, this would be a great thing to do. But guess what? That wasn't the first time you did it. Right. That's the first time you got caught. So who thinks to themselves to lace children's cupcakes with sperm? I'll tell you who. Hebrews 12:16 says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. It's in the scriptures. Right. This isn't something that I'm just making up. That bitch is disgusting, repugnant, and so is her husband. What was the thought process like? What was it to be standing there doing that and be getting excited because you knew, well, I'm going to take this to the kids and feed it to them? Think about that. What was the thought process to do that? This is something that was premeditated and then was going to happen the next day. But you love white women and you love white men. Well, guess what? The Lord hates them. And so do I, with a perfect hatred. I want you to understand that there is nothing about the white woman or white man that we should be attracted to. The scripture says, to envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. As I brought out before, you know who chose some of his ways and now he's in prison? Diddy. Him and his baby oil and his parties and all this type of stuff. He was doing the same thing that Hugh Hefner did. He was choosing his ways. And now look, you can't do what they do. You're going to go to prison for doing what they do. They have been vile and disgusting since forever. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, Snack got one. On top of what you're saying, this is a good precept for what you're saying. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanity. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. And the reason why I say ask is just a precept, because when you went to Diddy, you know what he was doing, how you say envy those which is not envy thou not the oppressor. We was jealous over those which are not a people. And it's heavy to say not a people, because you can't be a human and pit semen in kids' cupcakes.
Absolutely, you can, and that is a precept that can absolutely be used with who are not a people. Right. Now, if you were paying attention at the beginning of the class, I told you, I said to you that they aren't real.
Right.
They aren't real. How can you be a human? How can you be a human and do that?
Right.
That's their nature across the board.
Right.
And anytime we do something like that, it's because we follow them. It's because we heard it. It's because we learned it from them. That's not in our nature to do shit like that.
Right.
That's what they do.
Right.
But I'm going to continue reading as we're going through this history. Historical records, court cases, and newspapers show instances of women charged with corruption of a minor. But these were framed as social problems rather than sexual crimes. Cultural ideas of women as naturally nurturing, harmless, and sexually passive made it difficult for victims, especially boys, to be believed. So what it is a woman would do that, and guess what? All she'd have to do is cry and say, "Oh, I would never do anything like that. They're just jealous of me, or they're doing this to me." She would start lying and using that squeaky ass little lying voice, and then they'd say, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. You would never do anything like that. Let's find out what's going on. Why would this 14-year-old boy accuse you of such? Why would this 13-year-old boy come up with this whole scheme and plan to say that you have been sexually abusing him when obviously you aren't? There's no way you've been doing that." So when they set that up for you, that right there then creates a lane for them to walk and ride behind untouched. They continue to do what they do because now the people have been fooled into thinking a white woman could never do anything wrong. The hell you say?
Right.
The hell you say?
Right.
Right now, we are at 3353 Glenwood Road, Decatur, Georgia. We in the hood. If I walk out the door right now and saw a white woman out there, I say, you know what? Let me go ahead and strap up.
Right. Right.
Because I know that right there, something's off.
Right.
If I see a white woman walking down the street, I'm going to profile her immediately.
Right. Because
she's not safe. There's a potential for her to do something crazy. Who knows? She might be a mass murderer. She might be a school shooter. We don't know. She might be a serial rapist. Since I have to use this ridiculous terms, rapist with a G, Salakia.
Right.
That's what I want you to understand. You need to profile them. If you have children and you're watching this class and your teacher is a white woman or a white man, make sure that you talk to your children about the do's and don'ts of when there's any type of physical contact. They're not to touch them in any way that makes them feel uncomfortable. They aren't to touch them in any way that you don't touch them. You show them how they can't be touched. That's what you do. They need to be aware of these things because the oppressor is slick. He comes up with games. We didn't just come up with the game, Doctor. I can guarantee you the white man did. We didn't come up with the game Operation. We didn't come up with the game where we're saying, okay, we're going to play hide and go seek. Yeah, they were hiding and they went to go seek a victim. So then they could do what they want to do to them. As I said in my class before, if you're a little white boy or a little white girl, and you've heard stories about the boogeyman, believe it. Because guess what? Your daddy and your mama is the boogeyman.
Right.
The white man is the boogeyman. The white woman is the boogie woman.
Right.
That's what they are. They are monsters. Literally in your closet, under your bed, in your house. I'm going to continue. Get ready to get me prepared for another video, brother, here in just a second. As I continue to read, now I'm going to go into the psychology. It says here, as psychology became more formalized, more studies on sexual offending were based on prison populations. Let me make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. Okay, I'm not. I'll start over. As psychology became more formalized and studied on sexual offending, it was more based on prison populations where male offenders vastly outnumbered female offenders. Female offenders were considered rare largely because victims did not report the abuse by the women, authorities did not classify it as sexual abuse, or it was framed as teacher-student affairs. Now, if you listen to all those words that are used, none of that is anything that's sounding harsh, and there's a reason for that. Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, come. Slide, if I could pertain to what you were just talking about, like how the white woman is dangerous. Would this be a precept to that? First Ezra chapter 3, verse 12, with the riddle where the brothers like the third wrote, women are strongest, but above all things, truth bear away the victory. You know, because it say women are the strong, you know, the riddle where it was the strong drink with the women. And it shows like not just our women, on the flip side of it, it shows like the influence that the devil woman will have as well, right? So,
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The white woman is the influence over the black woman. That's proven every day with how we try to how our sisters try to make their hair and what they try to look like. We're trying to look like them and subtract from us. They're trying to look like us and add to themselves.
Okay.
Think about that. We are subtracting from ourselves by trying to look and be like them. We're taking away. They're trying to add to themselves because of the lack thereof. Right. So when you look at the white man and how the white man's prowess is small, then you look at the white woman. She doesn't have a behind, right, but she wants to get ass implants. She doesn't have a lips, but she wants to get lip implants. She doesn't have breasts, and if she does, that's all she has. But guess what? She wants to have breast implants. There weren't black people saying, here, let me give you ass injections. Let me give you breast injections. We weren't coming up with these things for us to do. The white woman and the white man came up with these things because she wanted her body to be voluptuous like the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman is. So as you look at it, they envy us. They just don't tell you. They'll do it in your face and you won't really realize it.
Right.
That's what they do.
Okay.
Everything about them is visual. Everything about them is sexual in nature.
Right.
Everything. But I'm going to continue. It says it's important to note that many female offenders during this era were charged only when pregnancy, physical harm, or public scandal occurred. That's heavy. Many female offenders during this era were only charged when pregnancy, physical harm, or public scandal occurred. So that means that there had to be something that was seen. Like if you're a woman who was pregnant by a child, that was something that was seen. So obviously we have to punish it. Or if it makes it to the news, that's something that was seen. So we have to punish it. Or someone was hurt in the process of you being a pedophile, that's something that was seen. So now we have to do something about it. But if it was something that was done under the radar, no one was physically hurt that you could see. If there was no pregnancy that you could see, no sexually transmitted diseases that were passed, then it went under the radar. So you have to ask yourself, all these grown men out here and all these grown women out here, why couldn't they just come together and have their orgies and do what they want to do? Now they do that. So you have to be a special type of disgusting to have a preference for children. Think about that. The white woman wants little boys.
Right.
She wants them. I can give you a story. Me growing up in Chicago, I was in grade school. I might have been in maybe the 6th grade, 6th or 7th grade. And there was a white woman that was my teacher. And of course, I can remember her because she had large breast. Now I said large breath. She had large breast, but also she had bad breath. That's why I said that. Well, what she would do, and I was smart enough to recognize that something was off, because I could be sitting at my desk reading something or writing something down in class, and she would come to act like she wanted to give me assistance, and she would lean over me, and she would put her breast on my back. Now, I knew that something was off. There would be absolutely no need to put your chest all over me. Now, some people who would defend that would say maybe because she had large breasts, she couldn't help it. There was no reason for this woman to lean over me like she was doing.
Right.
She was all over me on some, well, Quentin, if you need some help, just let me know what it is that you need me to do, and we can, we can set something up. Now, I wasn't saying that the woman was trying to seduce me, because I was a child and I don't know any better, but I knew something was off. I knew, I'm like, you know what? Not only does your breath stink, but why is your breast all over my back?
Right.
This is a white woman. But what I did start to do was watch how she moved with the other kids. And there was another Issacharite brother in there. His name was Mike Ramirez. And I would watch because Mike was bigger than us. We're the same age, but Mike was a big Issacharite brother. So she would go over there and be doing the same thing to him. But what I noticed was he embraced it. He wanted her to do these things. And I was sitting back at a young age watching going, yeah, you know, he likes that. He likes what she's doing. And I was peeping that at a young age. She was doing these things. So whenever she would lean in, he would lean back. And I was like, oh, I see what's going on. So I would always notice these things. And it would always be where I would hone in on that as a child, looking at he likes what she's doing, but she likes him. And mind you, I was in like the 6th grade. This is a grown woman. So me teaching this class right now is allowing me to think of a time when I saw things that were not natural, things that were off. And had we embraced that, had I embraced it, who knows what would have happened? Who knows what happened with her and Mike Ramirez? Who knows? All I know is what I saw, and you can't change that. I know that the white woman is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We cannot be clueless to that. Now I'm going to continue to read. I'm going to go to number 3. As I'm doing this, I'm giving you a timeline throughout history. So this right here is from the 1980s to the 1990s. It says here, first major recognition. So each one of these time periods have a name to them. This right here is the first major recognition. It says here, child protection laws strengthened and sexual abuse began to be studied more scientifically. Researchers began noticing patterns and suggested female sexual offenders were more common than previously assumed. So as they're starting to do these studies, now they're saying, oh, well, it looks like Becky is really more of a pedophile than we thought. It's starting to look like Karen is a little bit more of a pedophile than we thought. She's really doing these things. Let us do a little bit of study. It's been there. You just didn't give a shit because you were also doing it yourself. You were just allowing these women to groom these little boys and let them get away with it. I'll continue. So the key developments in this were feminist scholars pushed to recognize female abuse to protect victims, Salakia, regardless of gender. Laws began changing so that women could be prosecuted for the same crimes as men if the evidence existed. Now, that's heavy. If the evidence existed, the evidence was there, you just was throwing it under the rug. Right. It's been there the entire time. Just because you don't have studies for it doesn't mean that it wasn't happening, and they know that. So you have to look at, it wasn't until 80s and the 90s where they really started to kind of recognize it. So you mean to tell me all that time before then? What about when we go back to the plantation? I can promise you that the white woman was molesting black boys. Right. And they were scared to death to say anything because they didn't want to die. Go ahead.
Right. So what kind of evidence were they looking for? Like, what would be the evidence?
You know, that's the same thing I'm wondering. What evidence did they need to see? The evidence was they were molesting children.
Okay.
That's what they were doing. But they were saying if the evidence was there, the evidence was there the entire time. Right. You just weren't keeping records of it because you were calling it something else. Right. You were putting it in another category. As I said earlier, they were calling it moral injustice or moral failures or these relationships that shouldn't have been happening. So they're talking about a relationship. A relationship oftentimes is something that somebody wants. It's a relationship. They're coming together. But they were calling it some sort of relationship. No, you were a sexual abuser. You were a PDF file.
Right.
That's what you were. That wasn't a relationship. That was someone taking advantage of someone because of their own sexual deviancy, because of what they wanted to do. I'll continue. It says here, laws began changing so that women could be prosecuted for the same crimes as men if evidence existed. I'll go on here to number 4, 2000s, growth of research and public awareness. We're going to go to another video. Scroll on up. Stop right there. Go to that one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This teacher made out with a 5th grade student. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, sir, if I may.
Absolutely.
On these videos you keep pulling up, I don't want pulling up for you. All of the thumbnails with the white devil women, they all look the same. They just like normal devil women.
Absolutely.
And if you notice, the woman doing the commentary, she called these daily teacher stories, meaning this is very common.
Absolutely.
Able to find these stories very common.
Absolutely. She has access to it. What you're bringing out is heavy. Before you press play, here's what I want y'all to understand. Do your own research. I had to do a lot of digging to get the information that I got, because they'll tell you that there's not much data on the white woman pedophile. So you have to search. I found this right here on social media. But as I've said, I've been collecting this information for several months. I have tons of information on these women who are doing this. And it's so common that I saw something on social media a couple of days ago saying, man, what's going on with all these women doing this in these schools? And they said it as though it was no big deal. Because what they'll do is they'll look at these white women who look like the girl next door, the soft face, freckle face, no type of, she doesn't do anything wrong. She just comes in, she teaches, she goes home, she's very soft spoken. The whole time, she's putting little Timmy's rod in her mouth. The whole time she's molesting your sons. The whole time she's molesting your daughters, because you have attached this thing to her to say she's innocent.
Right.
Press play.
This teacher made out with a 5th grade student, but that's not all she did. So this Wisconsin teacher was already facing charges for allegedly kissing a student in 5th grade, but she also allegedly molested a second child who she spent years babysitting. According to reports, 24-year-old Abigail Faust, pictured here, began preying on a 16-year-old boy late last year, and this was shortly after he turned 15 years old. This then started an inappropriate relationship with a teen that overlapped with her abuse of her student at Rivercrest Elementary School. It was said that the teen she babysitted for thought the two of them were in an exclusive relationship together, and they even talked about having children one day. Absolutely sick. Abigail allegedly knew the relationship was not right and said she felt grossed out by the abuse that she allegedly committed, but that didn't stop her, so she evidently didn't feel too gross about it. She also allegedly confessed her love to the teenager she babysat. This was after she was already arrested for kissing a 5th grade student of hers. Reportedly, the teen's parents had hired Abigail to watch him starting in 2021 to babysit him. They then reportedly contacted the family of the other victim, her 5th grade student, before they started to speak out, before they came forward to authorities. According to reports, Abigail taught 5th grade at Rivercrest Elementary School. She was charged in early August, so about a month ago, with failure to protect a child. This teacher made out with a 5th grade student, but that's not all she did. So this Wisconsin teacher.
Did you hear that? Failure. She was charged with failure to protect the child. What the hell does failure to protect a child have to do with you having a relationship with a 5th grader? You see, what they can do, Esau can name the laws as they wish. They can change the law or change the name to suit however they want to punish you. So failure to protect a minor, not only are you not protecting them, you're killing them. You are molesting a child. So of course you're not protecting them. So why don't you say it's child molestation? Failure to protect the child is the charge.
Right.
If you don't understand that the white man is the devil, then at this point you never will.
Right.
You don't want to. Go ahead.
It's like it's very that sounds like the remind me of the charge that the devil got that tried to unalive the brother. Was it in Louisiana? The one that works on the garbage company that was driving the truck. And
okay, yeah. So
illegal discharge of a firearm,
right?
Saying attempted murder,
correct,
or at least aggravated assault,
right? You know it should have been attempted murder. These two devils tried to shoot, well, the husband of one of these devils tried to shoot at one of our brothers in Louisiana. He drives a garbage truck. He was doing his job, and the devil came out in his underwear, probably after a rage night of drugs and molestation, allegedly, and decided to shoot at the truck. Here's what's so disgusting about that. He shot 6 different times at the vehicle. They said it's an illegal discharge of a firearm. How is that when you're shooting at the person? Because if I shoot at you, they're going to arrest me for trying to murder you. So they adjusted and trumped up these, or not even trumped up, but they adjusted the charges so that they could be, I guess you can say, when they go to court, possibly acquitted. Right. But what you don't understand is that you're dealing with the Lord's priest and prophets. Right. So it's not going to work out like that for you. Right. We bring that out because that just lets you know how much the oppressor will do to get out of what he does. Right. So they changed the charges, just like with this woman. You were charged with not protecting children. It was a 5th grader. You're a grown woman, and you were having a relationship with the 5th grader. But we're going to go a step further. I'm going to show you this video. I've sent it to you, Michael, a lot. This video that I want you to see of not only do they have to be teachers, or are they teachers, but they also do it to their own family, to their own children. If you can go to that video, Baba Kashah. Con. Oh, you might have to take a minute to send it to that.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Okay. Most High in Christ. So you're about to see another video of just how sadistic that Karen is and what she does. And you're going to see now that it's not just that they do it to students, they do it to their own family. That one right there. Watch this.
This woman is facing several charges after allegedly admitting to essaying a younger female relative for decades. Her name's Taji Hilson. She's 62 years old, and she worked as an elementary school teacher. And that younger female relative wasn't the only victim. Allegedly, she admitted to inappropriately touching at least a dozen. So on April 30th, the victim, who's now a grown adult, filed a report with the Reno Police Department, and then an investigation started in May. The victim told police that Hilson had SA'd her throughout her childhood and adulthood. She said she would feel that she was being sexually pleasured while asleep, and then she'd wake up and would see Hilson hovering over her. And she also gave the police text messages where Hilson allegedly admitted to DRUGing her and then inappropriately touching her. She was interviewed by the police on June 25th, and apparently she admitted to it. According to the report, she told police that she would sneak Benadryl into the victim's food, and then after she fell asleep, she would touch her. And she admitted that she did it throughout the girl's childhood and then resumed in 2014 after she had returned home from college. And apparently throughout the years, the victim felt like she couldn't really do anything about it because she lived close to Hilson and was financially dependent on her. But she finally got the strength to come forward. Hilson also allegedly admitted to touching a 2-year-old neighbor at a community pool within the past few years, as well as at least a dozen other children who were mostly relatives. And when police asked her why she did all of this, she said because she never felt seen and desired to be close to another person. At the time of the victim filing that report, she was still working as a teacher at the Roy Gom Elementary School, but she has since resigned. And the police say that there hasn't been any kind of evidence to suggest she was harming any of her students. She was booked into the Washoe County Jail on July 2nd. It was charged with 1 count of SE actual assault against a child under 14, 1 count of SE actual assault, and 3 counts of lewdness with a child under 14. But I wonder if she's going to end up getting more. And her bail was set at $5 million. This woman is facing several charges after.
You can go back. So now, what I want you to see is that this right here, this woman did this to a family member, but also they said multiple people, right, even down to a 2-year-old. Think about it. This woman right here, they said that she would wake up to the woman hovering over her. Now, I told you earlier that the white woman and the white man is the boogeyman. So if you're laying in bed and then you open your eyes and then you see somebody hovering over you, is that not going to scare the shit out of you?
Right, right.
That's the boogeyman. That's the boogie woman, and that's what she was doing. She was drugging her own family so that she can then go and molest them. What was she getting from molesting one of her own family members? And he said not only as a child, but up into adulthood. This lets you know that that's a devil. This lets you know. Because not only were they doing it, was she doing it to them when they were a child and in the family, but did it all the way up until they were adults. How can you molest an adult? That's heavy. How can you do that? Because at some point, probably what's going to happen in their thought process is that, oh, I deserve to do it, or I'm used to doing this. That's what's going to happen, unfortunately. But this woman right here was 62 years old. So she had been doing this for many, many years. I'm going to continue to read throughout this article here, or these clips that I've brought to you. It says here, the 2000s, the growth of research and public awareness, the internet era led to more reporting, media coverage, or female teacher-student in more female teacher-student cases. Many well-known prosecutors, though often treated sensationally rather than clinically. Research findings from this period show female offenders often targeted people they already know and have access to. Family members, students, people receiving care. That right there is the profile of a female Salakia. That's also the profile of a female serial killer, but as you see, it's also the profile of a female pedophile, a white female pedophile. Go ahead, Michael.
Couple comments, sir. Comment from Chuka Ra. He said, Salakia, sir, the way the story is being told is like the mother, but they don't want to say. They said the girl was financially dependent. It was probably her own daughter.
Absolutely. Heavy point. More than likely it was. It could have very well been her own mom. Believe me now, when it comes to Esau, I don't put anything beyond them, period. I'm going to bring some more stuff out here. So it says here, they are more likely than men to commit abuse alongside another offender. So it's saying here that the woman is more likely to commit abuse alongside another offender, a boyfriend, a husband, or a caretaker. So they have the same characteristics as a female serial killer, but they have access to students. You see, with the female serial killer, she is oftentimes she's in the nursing field. She's a nurse, so she is a caregiver. This right here, you could be any of those things, but also a teacher. Every one of the articles that we have seen tonight, all of them have been teachers. Every one of them. If we can't profile that, then you don't want to.
Right.
They're showing you who they are. They're showing you. So I can go ahead and tell you right now, I would much rather teach my own children. You know what? The I.S.U.P.K has schools all over the world. Absolutely brilliant brothers and sisters that can teach our children. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to bring your children home. I'm not telling you that, but that's an option, especially if you have your kids anywhere near the oppressor. Don't think that Karen won't mess with Antoine, because she will. Because she feels like Antoine can please her more than Bill at home can. I don't mean to be too graphic, but as I said, we're adults here, and I'm letting you know just how disgusting the white woman is. I'll continue. And this right here is an important shift. psychologists started to classify female sexual abusers into types, recognizing the difference in motivation, mental health factors, trauma history, and compulsive behavior. So you see, they didn't just come up with these things. They've been watching, they've been studying and seeing how to classify and how to profile and categorize the female pedophile. They know how to do it. They've seen it. They know what the deal is. None of these people are black. You haven't seen me bring out one black sister in any of this. You can't even find it. Now, that's not to say that black women haven't done it. That's not to say that. But it is not in our nature to do it. This right here is in the white woman's nature. She's going to do that just because that's what she wants. She wants to do it, so she's going to do it. She's going to think, well, how could you, I mean, what can you do to me? What can you say to me? I'm a white woman. Doesn't that count for anything? How dare you accuse me of such? Or they'll try to rationalize with you. Well, I mean, he doesn't look like he's 14. Really, bitch? That's a child. Maybe she was SA'd when she was a child. Or maybe she wasn't. Salakia, just one moment. Most High in Christ, make sure you record that time. Now I'm going to go to number 5, the 2010s to present. Mind you, I'm just giving you a history timeline here. It says recognition of female offenders as a public safety and public health issue. Public safety and public health issue. Modern research and criminal database show women represent a small but consistent percentage of sexual offenses arrest in the U.S. So it says here a small but consistent percentage. Small but consistent. If it's consistent, then that means it's growing. That means it's continuing. So you see how they add small to it? Small is so that you think, oh, it's not really that much of us doing it.
Right.
If there were black women doing it, they would have all the stats. If there were black, Hispanic, or Native Indian women doing it, it would have all the stats for you to see.
Right.
But this right here, they're trying to minimize it by using particular words so that it gets in your head to say, oh, well, it's not that many of them, so it's not that bad. No, you're not going to get a nigga like me like that. Right. The white woman is the devil. We know what she's doing. I'm going to continue. It says here, women represent a small but consistent percentage of sexual offense arrests in the U.S. Sexual abuse by women is now acknowledged in criminal law, child welfare systems, treatment programs for offenders. Now, this time period says is from the 2010s to present. So just now from the 2010s to present, it's saying here, it is now recognized in criminal law, child welfare systems, and treatment programs for offenders. Starting from 2010 on up to now. Think about that. So they have been out there doing this garbage to us for who knows how long. Now say to us, they're not talking about instances where white women have abused black children. But I can promise you that there are some cases, but they're afraid to do it. And I'm going to tell you why. The white woman would try to seduce the little black boys. And they, not that they don't, but they do. But they are fearful of what the black mother and the black father might do.
Right.
So when it comes to us being abused by the white woman, not that it can't happen, but they're going to think about it. They're going to think to themselves, can I make them a victim? Because if that gets back to mom and dad, they're probably going to come up here and do something to me. But when it happens to a white boy, the dad might be like, well, Billy, how'd you like it? He might be proud of his son. As you'll understand, for them, it might be a rite of passage to be with an older woman. No, you've been molested by an older woman. You've been molested. That's what you've been. That's not a rite of passage. That's not something that you're supposed to be happy about. It says here, the current patterns that we have to look for or abuse often involves caretaker roles, teachers, daycare workers, relatives, medical caregivers. Think about that. Online exploitation with text messages, social media, or grooming. Then it says here, many jurisdictions have created treatment programs specifically for female offenders because their psychology and offense patterns differ from men's. Well, that's not something that's profound. They're men, I mean, they're women. So yeah, it may be something different, but you have to look at it. They're still the same role as what the white female serial killer is. Caretaker roles, teachers, daycare workers, relatives, medical caregivers. They can do that to you because you can't defend yourself. There's nothing you can do. So they can have their way with you every single day. They can go home and fantasize about how they're going to do something to you. That's the same thing that the white female serial killer would do. She would have access to you because you couldn't take care of yourself, and she could do to you whatever she wanted. So I want you to protect your children. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, protect your children.
Right.
But I'm also going to say this to everyone else. Pedophilia is wrong.
Right.
Now, the government is more than likely going to come up with something to make it some sort of way to be illegal, because they want to say, you can't judge someone, or they can't help who they love. If you can't help who you love, then that means they're saying you can't help it if you want to SA little boys and little girls. What I want you to do is to protect your children.
Right.
If you're white, protect your children.
Right.
Protect your son, protect your daughters. Understand that there are predators out there. This is something that is disgusting. And I'm speaking on these things because as I spoke in my last class, and I'm speaking now, that's something that was done to me by women. Unfortunately, it was done by Black women who more than likely had also had these things done to them. And what that did to me was it helped me now to understand why I got involved with white women, but at the same time to understand also why I hated myself. Because what it did do was it made me very sexual. And then white women were introduced. So once that happened, I was going after them. I was getting them. It was as though Satan was going, here, have all the white women you want. That's what was happening. So you were molested by Black women. I'm going to send the nice, not argumentative white woman to you. The person who hasn't done anything to you, I'm going to send that your way. And that's what happened. Satan sent it my way. And what did I do? I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But no longer. I'm in this truth. So now I can come to you and share to you the dynamics and the thought process of why we move the way we move and why I have the understanding now. So I'm saying to you, Black man, Hispanic man, a Native Indian man, protect your children.
Right.
Ask them questions. Make sure that no one is touching them. Make sure that no one is doing anything to them or threatening them. Find out what's going on at their schools. Don't always be so quick to let your children spend the night at someone's house. Don't always be so quick to let someone spend a night at your house with your kids. We have to protect them. We owe it to our children to make sure that they're okay. We don't want them to go through the things that we've gone through, because in the Black community, oftentimes something can happen from the grandmother, from the uncle, the grandfather, and we don't say anything at all. Then what you've done is you open your child up to trauma by sitting at the very same table on Thanksgiving, sitting at the very same table on Christmas, sitting at the very same table or out there in the park on 4th of July when the family comes over, or at the family reunion where their uncle has molested them, or the grandmother has molested them. Something has been done, but no one has said anything. We can't be like that in our community, Israel.
Right.
We have to attack these things. They have to be able to see that what was done to them was wrong. Because if you don't show your child that them being molested was wrong, then they don't understand that there's a justice that needs to come with that. So if you haven't seen a punishment coming from being molested, guess what then that's going to make you think? That it's okay to molest. Guess what is then going to make you think? That it's okay to be gay. Because you didn't see the justice come from it. You didn't see the punishment come from it. But if you see the punishment, then you'll know, oh, that was wrong. Right. If you see the punishment, then you'll know, oh, I shouldn't do that. Then you'll understand that that's something that goes against God when someone starts to tell you that this is a sin. Because you saw the justice come from what happened to you. But if you never see that justice, guess what it's going to do? For you, in your mind, it's going to justify you doing whatever it is that you do, whether it be gay or molesting someone else. Lord willing, you don't experience those things. Lord willing, you don't have to go through any of that. The Lord, thank God, YAHANNA, gave me the ability to come into this truth. I didn't go out there and do any of these things. But what I was someone that was very sexual. So when the women wanted to get down, I got down. I was very reckless. I thought that I could get any woman that I wanted because of women at a young age messing with me. So that's how it affected me. I thought I could have any woman because, hey, these are women that are messing with me. These are girls that are telling me to come over here and show me yours and I'll show you mine. That's what I heard as a child. So as I'm growing up and then I'm understanding that I can be with women, of course, that's what I was doing. But YAHANNA, I don't have to experience that again. And I'll be damned if I let anyone that I know experience any of those things again. Right. Or have to even think about those things. Because it's a real thing. Molestation is real. As you can see here, the white woman has been doing it. And she has deceived many of us. But I want you to understand that no longer will we sit here with our eyes closed and our mouths shut. When we see something, say something. When you see something, do something. Right. That's what I want you to take away from this class. Because this is a real thing. You can destroy a person by doing this to them. Right. This right here is mental. It's a mental illness. It's trauma. You do not want to put your children through that. If they go through that and you start to see them start to be standoffish, if you start to see them start to be, they want to be alone. They want to get away from the family and friends. They want to be by themselves. You need to start to question these things. Start to look at the signs of someone that may have been abused. Pay attention. Sit your children down and talk to them. Don't let them sit and battle something and say, oh, you know, they're just going through this phase. They're a teenager. You have no idea what they may be experiencing. Talk to them because they may be afraid to talk to you. Go ahead, Makalad.
It's like what you're saying so heavily. It reminds me of a phrase. Instead of looking at your child asking what's wrong with you, you should ask what happened to you.
Right. Has anything happened to you? Because guess what? Sometimes you have to dig. Sometimes you have to fish to get the answers. They may say to you, well, no, I'm good, because they're shameful. This goes back into my class about trauma. Right. In trauma, trauma teaches you to be ashamed. Trauma teaches you to have guilt, and you'll have guilt to yourself because of something that happened to you. So then guess what that then does? It keeps you from speaking on something that has happened. Right. The things that happened to me by the girls that did what they did to me, I didn't tell my dad until probably, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, just in conversation of talking about some things and saying, yeah, you know, so-and-so used to do this to me. I never told my father this. Never told them what these girls did to me. So I'm telling you now to make sure that you not only open your mouth and talk to your children, but be patient with them. Take your time and get to know your child. Right. Pay attention to where something seems like it's probably off. Ask them who their teachers are. Investigate the teachers. That's what you do. You want to protect them from this shit because it's a real thing that's happening everywhere, and the oppressor doesn't want to do anything about it. He wants to molest your children. Right. He wants to get away with it. She wants to molest your children. So talk to them. Talk to your kids tonight. Make sure that nothing is happening to them. Right. And with that, I'm going to turn the class over to Priest and Prophet, Officer 50 Makulat.
Excellent words, sir. Excellent class as usual, brother. What? You know what I'm saying? The I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We had I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother sister comes into the school, they're off limit for 6 months. They're here to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the world. If a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months there's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Oh, it's like there's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Also, the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. My I.S.U.P.K, which means 10th in the Hebrew. That's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give you, get to the treasury department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory, but whatever sort of amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation we have going down this Sunday coming up. The Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. It's a powerful day, man. It's a powerful high holy day, man, that you want to come in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watch movies and you see the white man superheroes and they always being this and that. Well, you come here and learn about some real superheroes in the book of Maccabees. This Sunday, 3353 Glenwood Road, Decatur, Georgia, 7 p.m. sundown. Be in the building. You know what I'm saying? Also, I go out there and check the bulletin board in the back to see if anything we got going on in the events we're taking over. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, start wearing all black. That's boots, pants, headband, boots, pants, headband, war scarf. All black. You know what I'm saying? With that, clap it up for the troop. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. You know what I mean? That's right. It's the work, brother. You smiling stick. You know what I'm saying? Welcome home, brother. You know what I mean? With that, we're going to give a courteous salute to the brothers, men in Israel. It's like also the YAHANNA, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful brother too. Clap it up for him, man. Right. You know what I mean? Strong, brother. Good night. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're going to give a courteous salute to the brothers, men in Israel. Shabbat. Barak. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat. And what we just said, may the Most High watch over you in the name, may the Most High bless you in the name of Christ. Sluggy. Y'all should tie hands down, curse salute to the sisters. I might Shabbat. I might Barak. Yahweh Shabbat. And what we just said, may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Y'all should tie hands down. With that, class dismissed. That's all I want.